Hello everyone and welcome to our 21st episode of our Top 5 PvP Battles series. If you guys want to send your clips in, send them to KristoferESO at hotmail.com. And without further ado, at number 5, we have got Bagon on the no stealth Magic and Nightblade, and just look at him tearing into this first red player as this entire group follows him up the hill here, and he goes for the mist form just to kite away, get a bit of distance. A Nightblade closes the gap there, and Bagon quickly turns, gets the immobilize off, gets the fear, big damage, goes for the bow combo, a massive smack with his spectral bow, over 11k damage, but that Nightblade getting so much healing from his friendly players. There we see the double alt dump on Bagon as he tanks it out, goes into mist form, quickly resets his shields here, and then he's going to open on the front end of the group, tries to go for offensive there, but he takes a nasty fear from the opponent there, turns really fast, tries to put damage in yet again, but this Templar is very bulky, and Bagon is taking a lot of damage from this Sork from behind here, just pounding his shields, but holding his ground here as he's got a lot of the red players at the bottom of this thing, and he can prevent them from dealing damage, so he just has to tank these two out. Still taking a lot of pressure from the Sork and Templar combo here, but Bagon doing a great job not panicking, keeping his shields up, waiting for his opportunity. There's the weakness to elements. He wants to go for the damage, but the other player jumps down, and it's just the Sork left up here. So Bagon's going to turn onto the Sork, the weakness of the elements, and he gets pulled by the chain off the stamina player there. So Bagon's forced yet again to pound his defensive shields. Look at his sustain on this build in order to keep those shields up. And Bagon just kites back up behind the rocks here, trying to pull the red in. He wants to not confront them all in a massive group, and they dot him up pretty heavy, and now the red come charging in. Bagon taking a bit of damage here, tanking it out with his shields, just trying to find his opportunity to lay that offensive combo on the group here. He's got a little bit of a corner, got one player by himself. There we see the stun into the ultimate, so clean, and down he goes. Bagon's just going to turn onto the player that fell here, throw a bit of ranged pressure onto him. Bagon gets stunned as he begins to set his combo here. The weakness to elements, the dots are on. Here he goes for the attack. Oh my gosh, so much damage into this poor Sork here. And he's just pounding his shields, and Bagon is just honestly just applying a lot of pressure from a distance as he takes what looks like a really buggy stun from the Templar behind there. A full stamina bar, and he could not break that. So I gotta assume the buggy stun, but there we see he gets the stun on the Sork, and he cannot survive after the stun. Bagon easily tanking out the arrows from this player here, getting the fear on him. Oh my gosh. The guy just goes down so fast, and now the last red player left here coming down off the cliff, and he doesn't even fight back. He's like, oh man, I think I screwed up. Good fight, Bagon. Well done, my man. Alright, so coming in at number 4 this week, we have got animation canceling on his Stamina Nightblade, and he's just going to open on the back end of his siege line here. And here you see really quickly 2 players very fast to go down, and now animation canceling is going to open on this Sorcerer here, and the Sorcerer is just pounding the shields, and very, very low shield on the Sork there. However, animation canceling takes a nasty stun from an enemy Nightblade, so he's unable to get the finish off there. The Sork wants to go for the res. There we see the bash from Annie, going for that big damage. However, he's taken a lot of pressure from the enemy players as well, and he's forced yet again back into his cloak. The Sork really wants the res. Animation canceling is going to deny it. There's the ultimate to finish him down. The low health Nightblade quickly going down there, and now Annie's going to open up on this DK, gets a great stun on him there, and he's just going to dot him up and apply the pressure. The DK just cannot deal, and now Annie's just going to work his way back to the wooden rampart here, as I think the yellow have a camp in the back there, so they're going to be coming back. He opens on this DK with the fear. The DK doesn't break it. Down he goes to the spectral bow at the end there, and animation cancelling's taking quite a bit of pressure from the rest of the yellow as they come in here. He's got, I think, 2 Sorks and a Dragon Knight on him, and he's just continuing to kite them out. A lot of AoE that he's got to watch out for, so tricky stuff on the Stamblade, especially a melee-focused Stamblade. There we see such a snappy out-of-stealth stun on that Dragon Knight, and he goes for the fear, fearing that Sork, and then opens, I think that was actually a Nightblade, opens on that Nightblade there, quickly tearing him down, and now he's going to turn and burn this Sork and Dragon Knight. Animation canceling doing a great job dodging their incoming attacks. The Sork caught on very low stamina there. He does not break the stun, and animation canceling unfortunately unable to finish him off, and he's just going to have to reopen on these guys. There we see a fantastic fear, and the Sork just takes so long to break it. Animation canceling can taste the blood. He knows that this guy is low on resource and he's going to go down soon. There we see that big combo as an ally Nightblade also shoots an arrow into the Sork, and down he goes. And now this poor Dragon Knight is trying his best to hang on here, but the tables have turned and down he goes, poor guy. So coming in at number 3 this week, we have got Akenos on his Magicka Templar, rocking his melee Magplar. Absolutely love watching him play this build. Here he opens on the first player there, and just look at the damage off the Pottle Jab. So much damage, and he's just going to turn onto the next player. An enemy Meteor comes down. Akenos, no worries. He's got his Bat Swarm up. Quickly goes for the gap close into the next player, the jabs, and down he goes. Oh my gosh. And just look at him. Look at the distance coverage with this gap closer. He right away goes and stuns the player in behind here. Goes to put some pressure on the back players on the siege. Takes a nasty stun from the Templar behind. Quickly just going to purge off some of those negative effects. Heal himself up and just try to prevent them from rezzing. There he sees the player, wants to go for the res. He gap closes into him with that stun. It sets the off balance into his ultimate. Oh my gosh, that guy got nuked so hard, and Akenos is just going to mist around a little bit, tanking out a bit of fire from these guys, trying to get those stuns. There we see the double gap closer just to turn around and get the guy going for the stun, and Akenos is going to go for another gap close on top of this guy, drop his ultimate, seeing this guy go for the stun. He takes the stun from the NPC, and then Akenos bashes him. He is not going to allow these guys to get back up, continuing to apply pressure, and just look at him move, gap close into the first player, into the second player, denying one of the stuns and getting the kill with the ultimate on the second player there. One of the enemy players gets rezzed. Akenos quickly closing the gap into him, finishing him off with the jabs into the next player, into his ultimate. Oh my gosh, the amount of damage he's pumping out on this build, and he's just continuing to easily tank out this Sork on the side here. Akenos doing great job with his target selection here. He's got the enemy Templar on the retreat, and Akenos is just going to close into him and apply the jabs pressure. And honestly, this Templar can't even out-heal it. He's just pounding his Honor the Deads. Akenos is just continuing to dot him up. There we see the enemy barrier. He wants to go for the res. Wrong call. There's the off balance into the jabs, into the spear ultimate, into the Radiant. Oh my gosh. Down he goes, and now Akenos saving this guy for last, as he wasn't doing the biggest amount of damage, and just look at how fast he goes down. Oh my lord, fantastic play, my man. So if that last 1v6 doesn't already have you guys excited, coming in at number 2, we have got DoyleRicky on the Stamina Sorcerer, and just look at how many blues he's got on this resource. Gets a great Dawnbreaker splash off, finishing off one player there, but look at how much damage he's taking. All the incoming snipes, all the dots. He takes a nasty stun there. So close, but he manages to break the stun at just enough stamina, getting the Dark Deals off and resetting his buffs here, getting his stamina back, and all the blue slowly converge on the resource here. And DoyleRicky just wants to get this guy. There we see the heavy attack into the Dawnbreaker as the Dragon Knight leaps on him, and he finishes the DK off, turns around, quickly brings down the player behind him there, and now DoyleRicky's going to turn and fight the front end of this group. This guy's going for the res. He actually manages to just get the res off right before DoyleRicky can bash him. DoyleRicky's quickly going to turn and put pressure into the res player as he can't break that stun. There's the Dawnbreaker to turn on another target there, bringing that guy down. DoyleRicky just resetting his buffs as he moves behind the corner here, and he's going to continue to apply pressure to this blue group. And I love the way he's using the house just to mitigate the damage, making sure that he isn't casting his buffs while he's under attack, and now he's just trying to apply pressure still to the front end of the group, but he's just being patient here. He wants to see a blue overextend. Here it is, this guy all by himself. DoyleRicky going for the damage on him, just about finishing him off with the Executioner there, but the blue player holds on, and DoyleRicky notices that the guards are going down, so he goes for a bit of a kite behind the NPCs to open up on this very high HP player. This guy does not break the stun. DoyleRicky with a couple wrecking blows into the execute, bringing him down. Here we see he goes for a huge Dawnbreaker, gets a stun off on the player in the back there. One execute, two executes, bringing him down. This guy's trying to res the player on the flag. DoyleRicky bashes the res, taking the siege shot, He's going to reset his defensive buffs here and just open up on this player that was trying to res, putting good damage. There's the dots. There's the execute. Yet again, bringing another blue player down on the resource here. And now he's just got one last player at the front. DoyleRicky taking so much damage from these snipers. Oh my gosh. He finishes off the player on the front there, and he goes into the house on the left here just to get a little bit of respite, reset his buffs, get some stam back, and now he's got to deal with all of these blue snipers, and they're just kind of hanging out in the back and shooting siege at him. That moment when you're 1vx and getting sieged, it's got to feel good, man. Gets a huge combo off on this guy there. Oh my lord, nearly bringing him down. That guy's on like 5% HP. The dots just about finishing him off. DoyleRicky does a great job dodging the first Dawnbreaker splash. Follows up with his own Dawnbreaker, killing both players with the execute there. The poor level 12 Sork panics. He goes for his negate. It's not going to save him, and DoyleRicky's going to clean up the last player on siege. What a fantastic fight, man. And finally, guys, for our #1 fight this week, we have got Marcus Justicia on the Stamina Dragon Knight, and just look at this. He opens on the blue group, tearing through the first player, bringing him down. He dots up the second player into the huge leap, putting a lot of pressure into this guy. The enemy player follows up with his own leap. Marcus is going to bash to prevent the res there and just try to pick out a target here, taking a lot of stuns from these guys, making sure to keep his defensive buffs up as well as applying pressure. Here he applies the dots. The enemy meteor's coming in. Marcus does a great job blocking the meteor on the leap there, finishing off the player that's going for the res with his leap as well, turning on this lower HP player, dotting him up really fast, and just look at the dots wear through. This guy's trying to go for shields. Marcus with the heavy attack into the executioner, gets another dot off on this guy here into the big leap there, goes for the execute animation cancel as well. That player very low on health, and Marcus is just going to quickly turn to the player behind the tree here, bringing him down. Oh my gosh. And now he's going to go back to the player that he worked on a little bit more there. Dots him up yet again, but turns to protect the bodies. He doesn't want people to res the bodies that are down there. There's the heavy attack into the leap. Oh my gosh. Bringing down that lower HP player, applying a lot of pressure throughout the group as well. He's going to deny yet another res with the bash there, and he's just going to go behind the tree, reset his vigor, and now he's going to open up on this guy with the lightning staff. All of the dots in the world on him. Oh my gosh, that damage over time, Stamina Dragon Knight, and then the burst, bringing him down with the leap execute, jumping on the player in the back there, finishing him off as he goes for the res there. Marcus with a snappy block on the meteor yet again into that really smooth cancel, bringing that guy down, and he's got his last opposing player here. This guy's just pounding heals. It is not going to save you, man. Marcus just continuing to execute him until he goes down. So thank you guys so much for sending in your clips this week. A huge shout out to everyone who sent them in. Check out everybody's YouTube channels. Links, of course, are in the description below. And then for our bonus clip, we have got Irdlivir on the Stamina Templar just trolling with his precog. So if you guys like this episode, hit that like button. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button. We have got 20 previous episodes for you to watch, as well as tons of other content on my channel. We've got builds, we've got my own PvP commentaries, everything. So check that channel out, guys. If you guys want to send in your own clips, like I said, send them to KristoferESO at hotmail.com. We also feature builds, so if you guys want to submit a build as well, you can also send that in. If you guys are interested in some live gameplay, or if you just want to come chat with me, you can check out my Twitch. A link, of course, is in the description below. And finally, we are sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They give me better ping to ESO, and they're free to try for the first 14 days. There we see another precog. Oh my gosh, absolutely love it. So if you guys want to give What the Fast a try, check it out in the link below as well. So thank you guys again so much for sending the clips in. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will leave you guys with this last little fight here between Irdlivir and another Stamina Templar. I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode, and I hope that you guys have a great night. Thank you, guys.